Hello and welcome to TL's Cooking Love. Today I'm making lasagna. I'm very excited, and what I'm planning to do is freeze about 2/3 of it so we can have it over the next couple of weeks and take it out as need be, because it's really the two of us and the lasagna is a big dish. So I have my 9 by 13 inch deep pan, and I just sprayed it down with a little oil. And I've got some spicy Italian sausage links, and I am going to be taking the casing off of the links and starting to saute the sausage. Let's get started. I've heated a little olive oil in my pan, just enough so the sausage doesn't stick. I've removed the casing of the sausages, and I'm going to just be breaking it up as it's sauteing. And while this is getting browned, I have my oven set for 375. Well, my sausage has cooked, and it's resting on some paper towels to drain out the oil. So in the meantime, I have 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, and I'm adding in a half a cup of Parmesan, grated Parmesan. I've got 15 ounces of ricotta, and I'm going to be adding some salt and pepper. I don't usually measure my salt and pepper to taste, but I'm going to say about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And some cracked pepper. Okay, and I've got some fresh basil. I'm going to grab a bunch. I'm using 2 bunches of fresh basil. I love a lot of basil. And the way that I cut my basils, I'll take the stems off, and I will kind of put them together as so. And so I'll start with this little pile of leaves, and then I roll them up with the biggest leaf on the bottom, and then that just makes it super easy to chop. Get that out of the way. Chop. And that just gives you these nice little strips of basil. And I'm going to take all of these chopped basil. See a little piece I want to cut. And I'm just going to add that right into my cheese mixture and incorporate that into there. It's an easy way and a fast way to do basil. I've got my line up here. I've got the sausage that is now dry. It had drained the oil off of the paper towels. I've got my cheese filling that's incorporated with the basil. And I'm going to start with a half a cup of sauce at the bottom of this pan. Just make sure that the noodles don't stick. Now I'm using no boil noodles, and that is a personal preference. I know some purists out there might not like that, but it is just too easy, and I find that they're really good. I'm using the kind with this curly edge, so it actually, it's like the noodles that you boil. So I'm putting a layer of noodles down on top of the pan here. I'm gonna get it so they're overlapping a little bit. And then on the end here, I always break off a little piece to make sure it fits. The most important thing is that this pan is totally covered end to end with noodles. Then I will take my cheese mixture and I'll just put little dollops of that all around. I try and get it as uniform as I can. I know I'm going to be doing many layers of this, so you'll figure it out as you're doing it. I like to make sure that it seems kind of symmetrical everywhere with the fillings. So take your time. Okay. Then I'm going to put the sausage crumbles on the top of the cheese. Also spreading that out as much as evenly as possible. And then I'm going to pour another half a cup of, use your favorite tomato sauce. I am using Rayo's sauce. I really like it. And I'm using their marinara. I also like their basil garlic. And I'm putting, this is about half a cup of sauce, like I did at the bottom. Usually I will use 2 jars of sauce for this whole thing. Okay, now for my next layer of noodles. You'll just continue this until you get to the top. And actually, here's a trick. I already did this side, so I'm gonna scoot this over and do it like on this side. So I alternate that one noodle that's going the opposite way on the other side. I need to break off a little piece on the end to make it fit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Darn it. Not always perfect. Okay. And then I start the cheese again, and then the sausage, and then the sauce. This is my final layer. I'm gonna pour the sauce over the top, and then I'm going to get another 2 cups of mozzarella cheese to put on the very top. I'm going to cover this. And put it into the oven. This will bake for 25 minutes at 375. And then I will uncover it and bake it for an additional 5 minutes. I broiled this for the last few minutes. I'm going to let this rest for 15 minutes, and then I'll get my taster and let you know how we did. I'm here with my taster.
Hey.
Let's check it out.
All right, this is a delicious looking lasagna. The cheese is pretty drippy and gooey in a good, delicious way. Let's check this out.
It's good.
So I love the crispiness around the edges. And the cheese just, again, it's just delicious.
Melty.
Extreme, melty. I love it.
You know, I normally double this recipe when I make it so I can get 5 layers of the lasagna. And I do recommend that. I didn't this time, so I have a thinner casserole. But it's the same recipe. Just double it and you'll get at least 5 or 6 layers of your lasagna, depending on how deep your baking dish is. And that's the way you're used to my lasagna. And it's very flavorful and just yummy with the meltiness of everything.
Totally. The sausage is tangy. It's delicious. Really good.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.